Hello and welcome back to another video on the Football Zone and to a weekend review reviewing Premier League and Championship action from this week. And we're going to kick off with a shocking result at the City Ground where Nottingham Forest defeated Liverpool 1-0 on Saturday lunchtime. And yeah, no one saw this result coming. The only goal again coming in the 55th minute. And you know, Liverpool, they probably had the majority of the game but weren't as dominant as you thought they would be. And just as you thought they were picking up, no, it all goes horribly wrong. And yeah, Liverpool, you just won't be in a title fight like in the season like this. But for Forest, what a stunning victory, and this will be the start of momentum for them now. But moving on then to Man City 3, Brighton 1 at the Etihad. 2 early goals in the first half from Erling Haaland gave City the lead, but Trossard pulled one back in the 53rd minute, but De Bruyne in the 75th minute for City gave them the win. And you know, for a City game, Brighton actually had more possession unbelievably, but you know, City still relatively comfortable. Not a great start to the derby, but this will be a free hit. But City keep on marching on. Moving on then to Everton 3, Palace 0 at Goodison Park. Dominic Calvert-Lewin in the 11th minute, Anthony Gordon in the 63rd minute, and Dwight McNeil in the 84th minute with the goals for Everton. And yeah, quite a lot. Quite a lot of dominant game for Everton, you'd say. Definitely big win for them after a few tough games. But yeah, for Palace, disappointing as they were starting to pick up recently. So they'll be frustrated. But you know, hopefully they'll just see it a bit. But for Everton, like I say, really, really good result. Moving on then to Chelsea 1, Manchester United 1, at Stamford Bridge. 2 very late goals here. Jorginho in the 87th minute with a penalty, thought he'd won it. But no, Casemiro in the 4th minute stoppage time got an equaliser for Manchester United. And yeah, United, if they lost this game, I think they would have felt very hard done by, because for me they were the better side here. So you know, Chelsea, yeah, I mean, I think they'll be disappointed with the performance. A point's better than nothing, but yeah, when you take the lead in the 87th minute, you'd have to say you really should be winning that game. Moving on then to Villa Park, and it finished Aston Villa 4, Brentford 0. Great start in the first post-DVG era. Bailey, Ings were replaced, and Watkins after half-time with the goals. And yeah, great result for Villa. They were totally dominant here. Brentford will be really disappointed. But yeah, for Villa, hopefully they've got some momentum back in the post-DVG era, because yeah, it's just terrible the way that ended. But yeah, like I say, for Brentford, they'll be hoping this is just a small blip. Moving on then to Leeds 2, Fulham 3 at Ellen Road, and Rodrigo with a goal in the 20th minute gave Leeds a lead before Mitrovic in the 26th minute equalised, and Reed and Willian then gave Fulham a 3-1 lead, but Somerville pulled one back in the 91st minute, but in the end it came to nothing, and Fulham held on. Quite a close game. I think Leeds will be disappointed not to come away with a draw, but you know, Fulham, they keep on going on with their momentum. Really good start to the season, and yeah, it's just so impressive the way they started under Marco Silva. Moving on into another kind of shocking result, Southampton 1, Arsenal 1 at St Mary's. What a draw this was for Southampton. Xhaka gave Arsenal lead in the 11th minute, and from there on in, you thought it would be a really comfortable win for Arsenal. But no, fair play to Southampton. They hung on in there, and eventually got their reward when Stuart Armstrong in the 65th minute brought them level. And yeah, on the whole, Arsenal, as you might expect, probably had the majority of the game. Southampton defended well though, and I think you could argue they were definitely worthy of their point. Moving on then to Wolves 0, Leicester 4 at Molineux, and yeah, what a brilliant win for this was for Leicester. They are truly back now. 2 goals either side of half time. Tielemans and Barnes in the first half, Maddison and Vardy in the second half, 4 different goal scorers, and yeah, they'll be absolutely delighted with that, out of the relegation zone. And yeah, Wolves, they're looking in trouble. I'm wondering if that decision to keep Davis in charge until 2023 could be one that they come to regret, because yeah, to be totally truthful, they look pretty shocking here. Moving on then to Tottenham 1, Newcastle 2 at White Hart Lane, and yeah, Wilson and Almiron with the goals in the first half for Newcastle. A lovely goal from Almiron, a shocking mistake for Wilson's goal from Lloris, but Harry Kane in the 54th minute pulled one back, and then you thought Tottenham would find the equaliser, but no, it didn't come to pass. And yeah, Newcastle held on, withstood the pressure, and a brilliant win. Eddie Howe's men are flying, but for Tottenham, yeah, if they want to keep up in the top 4 race, this is the sort of result that you really feel like they can't have. West Ham 2, Bournemouth 0 was the score at the London Stadium on Monday in the Premier League. Big win for West Ham. Goals either side of half time, right at the end of both halves. Zuma and Ben Rama from the spot. Second win for West Ham. Yeah, not sure the first goal should have said, but no doubt about the second one really. And yeah, West Ham dominated here, fully deserving the victory. Hopefully they can start to pick up some momentum now. They've been a bit better recently. Positive signs into the top 10, so good stuff for them. But for Bournemouth, a bit concerning recent run of form after such a promising start under Gary O'Neill. So yeah, needed results soon, you feel. Moving on then to the Championship games, and starting off on Saturday lunchtime, where it finished Blackpool 4, Preston 2 at Bloomfield Road. And yeah, what a great win this was for Blackpool. Goals from Yates, Patino, Yates again and Hamilton, but for Preston, goals from Whiteman and Connolly. But yeah, big win for Blackpool because they've been struggling recently. Preston will be disappointed not to continue momentum, but yeah, that kind of all goes out the way in derby games, so yeah, they'll be frustrated with that result, no doubt. Moving on then to Burnley, and they had a really good comeback win away at Sunderland. Diallo and Neil gave Sunderland the 2-0 lead in the first 20 minutes, but goals from Teller, Benson, Zauri and Brownhill gave Burnley the win. I mean, like, great comeback from Burnley, clinical when it mattered, and that's really what got them over the line. Sunderland will be frustrated, you should never give away that loss. They're just struggling to recapture the form we saw a few weeks ago from Tony Mowbray's side. But moving on then to Stoke 0, Coventry 2, a really big win for Coventry as they continue to their good form and get out of the relegation picture. Goals from Allen and Hamer, and great win, like I say. Probably wasn't a match between two sides. Stoke maybe feel hard done by, had more shots, 65% possession, but yeah, didn't really make the possession count today. Big win for Coventry, and yeah, I think, like we all suspect, it's just going to be a matter of time before they edge out the relegation picture. Moving on then to a top of the table clash, or it was a few weeks ago, Sheffield United 2, Norwich 2 at Bramall Lane. Pookie with a brace inside 16 minutes gave Norwich an early lead, but Osborne and McBurney in the second half leveled out for Sheffield United. Pookie missed out on the hat-trick in the 88th minute with a penalty miss, that led to Norwich being frustrated, but I think that would have been hard on Sheffield United if they had lost that, because yeah, for me they were definitely the better side here, just couldn't make it count. Moving on then to Hull, and they picked up a solid 4-2 away at Rotherham. Greaves in the 44th minute gave them the lead, but right before half time, Rotherham equalised in stoppage time. Then it was Christie and Longman who met Hull 3-1 up, Tufan 4-1 up, but Kelly made it 4-2, but in the end Hull held on, they were back to their best here, really seeing a better Hull side recently. Rotherham, they were poor here. Hull fully deserving the victory, and they're definitely looking like they are improving at this present time. Moving on then to Reading 2, Bristol City 0 at the Madejski Stadium. Loom with the goal in the 52nd minute gave Reading the lead, and Andy Carroll in the 93rd minute with a Shane Long assist, what year is it, gave Reading the victory in stoppage time. Reading, I think Bristol City can have no complaints here. Reading definitely the better side here, fully deserving of the 3 points, and it's a big win for them after some poor form for them. Bristol City, it's just about finding consistency for them, isn't it? That's what's really holding them back at the moment, you'd say. Moving on then to QPR 2, Wigan 1 at Loftus Road, and Jeff Field with a goal in the 12th minute gave QPR the lead, but Brown had equalised 10 minutes later, but just 2 minutes after that Balogun gave QPR the lead again, and QPR held on for the victory. So yeah, really good win for QPR. Maybe not the best performances, but as they say, good teams win not playing well, and that's an example here. Wigan though, they're starting to fall down the table a bit, and I think fears of relegation battles could be coming to them a bit, I'd say. But moving on then to Millwall 2, West Brom 1 at the Den, John Smith gave West Brom lead in the 20th minute, but Styles equalised in the 38th minute. Bartley was then sent off in the 85th minute for West Brom, leaving them hanging on, but they couldn't. Bury in the 90th minute gave Millwall the lead, and what a big win that was for Millwall. They'll be absolutely delighted with that. For West Brom, their struggles continue, and it's looking like a tough job for whoever takes over now. It really is. So disappointing. But moving on then to a game between two sides that struggle so far this season: Middlesbrough 0, Huddersfield 0. A game with not too much quality, you'd have to say, and that's why two teams down there. Wasn't a lot separated the two sides, and you'd say a 0-0 draw between these two sides, who put on pretty glad display, was probably a fair result, to be honest. Huddersfield still rooted to the bottom, 5 points from safety already. They need to start picking got some results soon. But for Middlesbrough, yeah, looking to break away from the playoffs. This wasn't a very good performance, you'd have to say. Moving on then to Blackburn, and they won again, 2-1 against Birmingham. Gallagher and Wharton with the goals, and Scott Hogan, the 18th minute, got a consolation goal, but Blackburn hold on. And yeah, I think Birmingham will be gutted for this. For me, they were definitely the better side here. But in the end, Blackburn were clinical when it mattered. But yeah, you do kind of feel like at some point it's going to, I don't know, they're going to start performing their XG and all of that. Yeah, Macy dropped down the table a bit. But yeah, Birmingham will be gutted with this. Moving on then to Derby Sunday in the Championship, Swansea 2, Cardiff 0. Robinson sent off in the 7th minute for just a stupid red card, really poor for an experienced player as well. Then you got Cooper in the 38th minute, gave Swansea the lead, and Obafemi in the 67th minute. Ref also missed the most obvious handball I've ever seen, which was kind of amusing. It didn't have any effect on the game, but yeah, still kind of shows the standard of the referees in the Championship. But Swansea fully deserved victory. Commentary amount of madness may have cost them. Moving on then to Watford 4, Luton 0 at Vicarage Road. Watford at their best here. Keenan Davis, Trusicon, João Pedro has made a side of the goal. Osho also got sent off for Luton in the 83rd minute. But yeah, Watford, dominant display here. And yeah, really showing how good they can be under Slaven Bilic. And yeah, we just need to see a bit more consistency from them, you'd say. But yeah, like I say, a really good win for Watford, and they'll be absolutely delighted with that. And hopefully it's the start of some consistency for them, because that's what's been lacking for them so far. But anyway, guys, that's it for video. Thanks very much for watching. To like, share, subscribe, subscribe, someone and influence us for daily football news and subscribe to the channel. It's greatly appreciated. Thanks very much for watching. Peace out.